Hey guys, how's it going? Today I wanted to speak about the subject of, is intelligence enough? Well, some people would say yes, other people would say no. I honestly think that it's not enough. I think there's a lot of very dumb people in this world, but there's also a lot of very intelligent people in this world. And it's not the fact that you are more intelligent than another person that's going to guarantee the fact that you are going to be successful. Because the thing is that some people cannot be very smart in the IQ fashion, and they might not be good at doing math or geography or history or sciences and stuff like that, but they are also in their own way geniuses of whatever field they are in, so they can actually master whatever they are doing, and they are able to be successful with it. And it's not because the person is not considered intelligent in the traditional way that the person is dumb. Because what do we really consider intelligence? Again, it's often calculated with the IQ test, and the fact that you are actually able to, become a doctor or lawyer, one of those professions that will pretty much guarantee a lot of money. But the thing is that in reality, some people can be very intelligent, but they can also be lazy. And if you're lazy, well, you're not going to be able to succeed, right? So it's not because you're able to memorize stuff very fast without making an effort that you are actually going to be successful in this world. Whereas people who maybe are less smart, but still smart in their own way, maybe they might have more ambition and they work on the subject much more than other people do, as the intelligent ones that actually have this much easier, but they are not lazy. So once again, what happens is that being prolific and not wanting to just get everything right away and be persevering and working on stuff hard will oftentimes pay off much more than somebody who just thinks he's natural at something. And there's also different types of intelligence at the same time, because there's people who might have an excellent memory, and they're able to retain a lot of facts. They're able to just talk about a lot of things because they're able to remember that stuff. But it doesn't make them necessarily intelligent, if that makes sense, because intelligence takes a lot of common sense, and some people just don't have common sense. They're just idiotic in that way. That's why I'm saying there's so many different types of intelligence. There's hundreds and hundreds of different types, really, because you can be smart at sciences, but you can be not so smart at conversation, or you can be an amazing person at conversation but just really not understand anything that has to do with math. And it's not just a general idea, because there's just so many subjects. And it's also, usually we tend to be attracted, we become kind of magnets to things that we are good at. So if we're not good at something, we tend to not do it, except if for some reason we are passionate about it, and we just love it, and we become obsessed with the fact that we want to become good at it, such as a musical instrument. Some people might have a better memory, some people might have a better ear, but at the same time you still need to develop the skills and the muscle memory within your body, your fingers and stuff like that, in order to achieve being a master at that. Or even the fact that you'd have to still memorize scales and memorize a bunch of things in order to kind of adhere to the rules of certain types of music. And if you don't take the time to actually learn these things and to memorize them, you're not going to be that good, even if you have a wonderful ear, because you might be hearing the notes, but you might not be able to say what the note is. And if somebody hires you, and it might be for a very specific kind of song, you might actually hear the stuff, but you might not be able to play it in the same way that they want, or it might just take you too much time. And in the professional world, sometimes you have to be quick. You have to be good, and you have to be quick. So you can't expect to just do it without hard work. And that's also a form of intelligence. So that being said, a lot of people who are considered intelligent might actually not be so smart. And then people who might actually be considered dim-witted or not very smart or whatever it is might not actually be as dumb as you might think. It could also be as simple as just being born in the wrong place at the wrong time and not being able to fulfill your full potential. You might have been born in a place where there just aren't any schools or adequate schools that would actually teach you the right kind of things, the right kind of tools for you to get the basics and then advance into more advanced stuff. So you might actually be good at sciences or math, the traditional stuff that people always consider as being the most important for intelligence, but because you weren't in a family that could actually give you that, or you weren't in a place where you could actually learn that, then you learned another skill and you were never able to fulfill that destiny, if that makes sense. But at the same time, it's not that bad, because if you're smart enough, you're able to be successful at whatever you're doing in this world, be you a carpenter, be you a electrician or mechanic, or one of the regular jobs that people think would not be for smart people, but it's not true. There's a lot of smart people that do these kind of jobs. It could also simply be that they had a diploma in another country and then they immigrated, for example, to America, and then their diploma doesn't have any use here because it's not recognized, and they might be too old to be able to go back and study for all that time and get themselves in debt and stuff like that. So they just end up doing a regular everyman's job. But it also says a lot about the person, because they know what needs to be done, and they know that it's not because they were once doctor or dentist or whatever that they can't be humble and figure out another way to make money. And if they're smart again, maybe that business that started out as just a regular job could also become a business for themselves. They could take it over or whatever it is. But there's different types of intelligence, and then some people are really, really smart at just saying all this philosophical stuff, and they think, I guess they're smart in their own way, but they're not able to function in society because they might have manic depression, or they might have all these other psychological issues. That's why they say savants and people with just like people with certain type of conditions, they can be on the spectrum, if that's what I mean. I think there's a lot of people who are highly functional but are also geniuses in their own field, and they might be lacking that other stuff, like I mentioned before. So you might be good at something, but you might not be good at something else. And without all the skills, that's the thing. It's, in a way, in this world, I think what people really consider smart, but without really putting that into it, is, yes, there's those silly IQ tests that schools want to give to you, but at the same time, there's something that can't be really calculated in being smart and then being intelligent. And again, that's the common sense, and the fact that you have to be kind of well-rounded into everything. If let's say math is 150% compared to all the other people, then you have a problem, because that extra 50% is probably taken over some sort of other skill in your brain, because it took too much space, if that makes sense. Kind of like a hard drive that's too full. We have very different compartments, and they can only be filled to a certain amount, otherwise it doesn't work, and then you're not really successful. And some people, with the help of their family, they can actually be successful if they have that. But that's all I have to say on the subject. Hope you enjoyed. Have a great day, and talk to you soon.